So I was watching Review Tech USA today, and now, to be honest, this isn't about him, but more so one of the commenters that I found. Basically, Rich just posted a story on a guy that basically destroyed a GameStop, and just because he couldn't return Fallout 76, and I haven't played the game, so no opinion. Uh, but I did find a comment that said uh, that pretty much boiled down to yet GameStop can open a game and sell it as new, and it's technically legal. Uh, and That kind of gave me some flashbacks to around 3 months ago when Proto Mario posted a video of basically he said that GameStop tried to scam him, and what ended up happening is uh, he was picking up Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, which I have my whole other opinion on. Releasing two games the same day like that. That was just dumb on Capcom's part. Anyway, point being, he said they tried to scam him because Proto Mario got there so late that he had to buy the display copy. Because how some GameStops work is they have a display case that's like, hey, here's our new game, pop it up there. And for Proto Mario, they didn't have any other copies anymore, so all they had left was the display case. So it was that or nothing, or just buy it online, whatever. Uh, so where he claimed the scam was the fact that it's opened, yet they're charging him for the new thing, and I'm like, well, no shit, it's a new game. Imagine my shock. A fucking video game store charging full price for a new game. Now, of course, his case was because it's been opened to display it. Uh, because they kind of just sit it up there, like open up, like when you take a book and you kind of just open up the book and just it kind of naturally stands on its own. Uh, that's what it was kind of doing on up on the counter like that. Uh, Now, of course, that was what he was trying to say, but from where I was standing on that position, I'm just like, all right, was the game played? You don't know? Well, then don't try to claim that you're being scammed. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make here is that I found a thing with that, and I just kind of wanted to like pose a question to you guys and kind of start a discussion on how when exactly is a game considered used? When is it considered opened? Uh, if that mean if people understand my drift there. Uh, and for me, it's considered used when once it's popped into a PS4 or a Xbox. It once it's been put into a game console, that's when I consider it used. If that makes sense. And the reason why I don't consider it, used when the wrapping is taken off is because, well, that doesn't prove that someone used it. Now, uh, of course, on the games on GameStop side, if you return the game, without it, it's a safe bet on their part that it is used. Uh, because what's the most likely story there? You didn't like the game. Boom. All right, let's just pop it back onto the counter. Mark it as used. It's that fucking simple. it really is a safe bet when the customer does that. Now, of course, when when GameStop does it, there is of course a debate on that uh, because they are, the game hasn't been taken out in order to, play it. And another thing that I wanted to just kind of sort of rant on about that subject is the people are claiming that because the game's opened, it's been used, and I'm like, all right, first of all, I don't. You can't convince me that it's been used. If it's just the disc has just been taken out to just sit on the side, just so they can fucking plop it up on the counter. Uh, I don't think any rational person can consider that used. But the thing that I wanted to say is that that I've seen people try to make the case on is that employees can apparently take the game and play it and then take it back and sell it as used or something like that. And if that's the case, then of course it shouldn't be considered. It shouldn't be sold as new. But the thing is, with that stuff, you kind of got to prove that that's what happened. That someone did fucking take it. Especially if you're going to make the claim that GameStop is deceiving you by falsely marking a game like that. And of course, I would consider that false advertisement if you're selling a used game as new. The big problem is that and if you're going to make the claim that and I'm of the opinion that if you're going to claim that GameStop is selling a used game as new, you gotta prove that they fucking played the game, that someone plopped it into a fucking game console. If you can prove that, then sure, I'll agree with you. If you can't, then stop wasting your time. And the big thing that I kind of just want to point out there is the big thing that I want to point out here is that of course you gotta prove that that's what GameStop did. Of course, they shouldn't have to prove their innocence. I mean, you don't fucking have the murderer prove that they didn't do it. You gotta have someone prove that the murderer did do it. Something like that. You gotta prove that someone did do something. They shouldn't have to prove that they didn't do it. Anyway, do you guys agree? So I want to know what you guys think about when it comes to when are games considered used? When is a game considered used? For me, the line is when it is plopped into a game console or the PC, whatever you put it into. Once it's been put in something like that, that's when it's considered used. So, do you guys agree, disagree? I legitimately want to know what you guys think on this, and where exactly the line should be, because this is actually kind of an interesting discussion, I think. So, you guys agree, disagree? Let me know, please.